Market Information Research Unit at MAESD, and
I'm Andrew. I'm with the Brookfield Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I have 3 other members who worked on this project, but I will be here representing them.
And we're excited to be here, or at least I am, to announce a sort of a soft launch.
I'm excited too.
Andrew's excited too. So, sort of a soft launch, our Student Pathways Challenge that we'll be launching on Thursday. So, some of you may know, MAESD is working, Ministry of Advanced Education and Skills Development is working hard to improve its tools that we're making available to the public, and also the data that we make available. And we've recently revamped our website and are continuing to build in new functionality and everything. But one of the things we're struggling with is new ideas and what we should do next. And so that's why we decided to come and host a challenge. And we're hoping that you will participate. Over the last year, we've been doing a lot of user research. We've been talking to students, we've been talking to high school, we've been talking to students in post-secondary, we've been talking to job seekers, and all of them say we need better resources. And there's an overwhelming amount of information out there. You go to Google, they'll tell you all about different jobs, different careers, different salaries, but none of it really makes sense, and most people shut down their computer within 5 minutes and then sort of give up. It's quite sort of a hopeless cause. And we want to make it less hopeless. We want to give people hope. There's lots of jobs out there. There's lots of cool and exciting jobs and opportunities, as you all know. Lots of reasons to stay in school and to continue your studies. But we want to make those decisions about continuing your studies and finding work easier, sort of a one-stop shop. And we're coming here to get your help to do that. So we're looking for designers, developers, data scientists, really anybody. The competition is open to anybody. Andrew will speak to the eligibility criteria in a bit, but we're looking for help. So after doing all our user research and hearing all the complaints and everything, we settled on a challenge question, which is how might we help high school students gain a better understanding of available career opportunities and the pathways to get there by means of a digital tool. And some of you may know, or some of you may remember, I know there's a lot of new faces in the room, but some of you may remember the federal government challenge that happened last year. It was related to youth employment for those, I believe, 15 to 29. We've looked at what came out of that. We were really sort of inspired, and so we wanted to do a similar thing with this same community. And so I don't know if those of you remember, but the federal government ran a project with Civic Tech, I think for $3,000? Yeah. About $3,000 to generate ideas about helping youth find jobs. And so I'm looking around, there's been lots of other challenges that have come up with some exciting tools and prototypes, and so we're hoping that we can bring that sort of ingenuity and innovation to Ontario through this challenge. So this is the part that I'm most excited about. We've been working very hard to put together an exciting bunch of data for people to use. This is a big task. We've turned PDFs into CSVs. We've done a whole bunch of things. What we've done, you can see in the slide, we've sort of tried to organize the data by sort of how do I term this? Sort of like how a student or a person moves through their career from education. So we have admission data to the student experience data at university or college to the labor market and onwards. And a couple of data sets I'm personally really excited about are we now have for the first time in machine readable form or in a data set all high school courses that are offered in Ontario, and also the admissions requirements for all universities in Ontario, and also highly competitive college programs. With the idea being that you should now, or somebody could, take that data and map what courses somebody needs in grade 9 to get all the way to Humber or U of T or wherever they'd like to go. We also have another data set that I'm excited about is with tax filer data. The University of Ottawa has done some work linking tax filer data with student records and student data. And so they've released a data set where you can see the progression of earnings after somebody graduates with different types of degrees, both college and university. And this is all available, but it's underutilized. And we've also released a number of other data sets from labor force survey, different things we get custom ordered from StatsCan about apprenticeship. We've turned a whole bunch of university data into cleaner CSVs. So hopefully this is something that you are excited about too. It's the first time that all this data is available in one spot in a standardized form and with proper documentation supporting information needed to use it. So we will also, we'll also be releasing the user research we've done, summaries of the user research, tools to help you conduct your own user research, to inform your tools, and will be available throughout the challenge to support you. So why participate? Well, same reasons you guys are all here. It's to solve real-world problems, hang out with friends, but we've also decided to sweeten the deal a bit. So we're offering a total of $50,000 in prize money available, $30,000 for the first prize, $13,000 for the second prize, and $7,000 for the third prize. So we think that's hopefully an incentive to stick with it through 6 weeks and enter the challenge and develop something cool and useful.
Cool. So I can speak to a bit of like who's eligible to participate. So why don't I ask, like, who here is a legal resident of Canada? Just raise them high. And no one here is a citizen of Quebec, is from Quebec, right? Like if you're from Quebec, you might have to put your hands down. Sorry, Quebec. You guys have different competition rules. And who here is over the age of 16? Just raise your hand. So you're all eligible to participate. Great. I look forward to all of you signing up. The only people who are not eligible to participate are people from MAESD or Ryerson University. So people presenting, i.e. Chris and myself. We are not eligible to participate, for example.
We'll support you, though.
We'll support you, though.
In other ways.
And there's a Slack channel where you can reach us, and we will definitely advise you on how the data can be used, but also a bit of the user research and direct you to organizations that can help you with that. When forming a team, at minimum, you must have one person, so you can just do this solo, and you can have a maximum of up to 12 participants. At least one member of your team has to be from Ontario, so you want to have an entirely remote team. That is possible as long as one of you is from Ontario. We have and I'll talk a bit to the timeline at the end, but one of you you must be able to travel to Toronto. Well, we're all in Toronto here, but this is an Ontario-wide competition for the demo day and the pitch competition that will be happening in the new year. So a bit of our timeline. So today is October the 17th. We actually have our kickoff event where we actually publicly release the data, but also publicly release our user research this Thursday. So some of you might, so we have our kickoff event from 6:30 to 9:30 at HackerU at Queen Spadina. It's actually very nearby where we're at, 483 Queen Street West, which is Queen and Spadina. There's a link to the kickoff event. So if you have your laptops, I urge you all to type in that URL, sign up. There will be some pretty cool speeches from the PA, Yvonne Baker, the ADM, Aaron McGinn, but also the catering will be, I promise you, will be better than pizza, so you should come. Yeah, you boo now, but wait till you show up. You'll sing a different tune. So we will be closing the competition November the 30th, and then we'll shortlist the top 10 finalists, who will then be invited to come to Toronto. Travel expenses will be, I believe, included. Correct? For up to 3 team members can come to Toronto and then pitch on January 12th, and then we'll decide the top 3 sort of winners there. So yeah, definitely consider doing it. So here's how you can get started. So all of you can, if you have a laptop, go to that website, studentpathwayschallenge.ca, join the mailing list. I'll show you where the mailing list is, but if you go on that website, just scroll down a little bit. There's a place you can sign up. You do need to sign up for the mailing list if you do want to compete, so I encourage you all to do that now. And through that, we will invite you to join the Slack workspace as well. And obviously, all of you are invited to attend our kickoff event this Thursday, where I'm going to reiterate the catering there is better than pizza. So if you are not able to join in person, there's also a WebEx stream you can join, so you can join in via webinar. And then we'll launch all our toolkits and resources. That's where we'll launch our user research and all those data sets. And then, yeah, you can all get started working on it. So I don't know if you have any questions for us. I can just show you a little bit of what the website looks like. So this website here, so I guess if you scroll down, so this is the website, this is what the website looks like. And if you scroll down, this is what I was talking about, the mailing list. So I urge you all to sign up for the mailing list. It's right on your homepage. We even made some really bad puns. So yeah, do any of you have any questions for us? Or?
I have two questions. First is, are you guys going to put any of the new census data that just recently released? And two, you mentioned about labor markets. Can you tell me what source did you guys kind of pull? Or I'll see towards all
yeah, so we will not.
So Chris, repeat the question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question was whether we will release any of the new census data, and the answer to that is no. The education and labor release is November 29th, I believe, for this current end of November, so it doesn't, it's unfortunate. It's something I've thought of, it would have been nice, but it just doesn't align with the competition. You are free to use any open and available data you can find out there, so other things, other census data that's been released from 2016, you're more than welcome to use. The sources for our data comes from a number of different places. We use the labor force survey, institutional records and data from colleges, Council of Ontario Universities, Colleges Ontario, our own internal administrative data on students and enrollments and different things like that. The apprenticeship, the registered apprenticeship and information system, we're releasing data from that. Our Employment Ontario system. There's multiple different data sources.
So if I was to join this,
yeah.
multiple sources.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, in the back.
On the second and third slide, we just wondering highlights facts or maybe you already did.
You want facts about the scorecard?
Yeah.
Or not?
I'm not. Yeah. What is that?
Oh, I'm going to. We will answer that question at the launch event. Sorry.
So, sorry. Under the rules and regulations, it has the criteria by which all submissions will be evaluated. So the usability of the data, the feasibility of the submission, the functionality of it. Is it a working prototype, or is it a wireframe? Is it non-functioning? So there's a number of different criteria, and the scorecard just basically goes into a little more detail in terms of how submissions will be evaluated, just so that it's clear in terms of how you'll be evaluated, and including the pitch event, right? So at the end of the 10 top submissions, we'll make it to the pitch event on January 12th, and it outlines the criteria for that as well. Oh, yeah, so if you just, how you use user research. Or
yeah, so I can actually speak because I actually have it in front of me. So as I was saying, that it's sort of a two-phase competition. There's like when you compete till November the 30th, and then we'll shortlist the top 10, and then it'll be judged again. So the first judging round, we actually looked at 4 pieces of criteria that Helen was mentioning. One is the user research. So we have user research. We encourage you to actually talk to high school students in testing your ideas, and then you actually have to test your ideas too. So we're actually also going to judge on user experience. Third degree, we're actually going to judge you on functionality. Does your product actually work? Does it do the thing that it purports to do? And lastly, does it actually use some of the data? You're not just restricted to using all this, although you should, although we strongly encourage you to use some of this data here. And then based on that, we decide sort of the top 10. And from that top 10, they'll go through another, they'll have a different set of criteria to judge against. So one is innovation, everyone's favorite buzzword, which is like, does it actually solve the problem in a new way? Secondly, impact. Does it actually like address it at like, I guess at this sort of a scalable kind of level? Third, is it sustainable? Can it sort of keep doing what it's doing? And then the actual pitch itself will actually also be judging from how, I guess, like coherent your pitch is. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Well, I saw another hand in the right there.
Are there plans for what like apps that the projects might take after? Like, will it be like adopted or stewarded by government? And related to that, are there any restrictions on licensing or whether it have to be open source or whether like, future use it after?
We're hoping that we'll be able to sort of move forward with that. We're not sure how exactly at this point because we don't know what will emerge, but that is part of our plan. All of the IP resides with the creator, so we don't own any of the IP, but we're hoping to work with the teams that come up with sort of viable products to help inform our products going forward.
Is there a pathway where people go to post-secondary for other reasons than to have a career? And is this part of the context you can bring to this kind of project?
Yeah, so people, we're sort of focused on careers.
Getting a job, I know. That.
Getting a job, that's sort of the point of the challenge. That's where we hear from our user research what everybody wants to know. They want to know the salary, they want to know the different jobs, what's available. But if you come up with a cool solution on sort of continuing education or lifelong learning or something, that's certainly something that would be considered.
So, right, as you know, we did the Youth Employment Challenge in Civic Tech last year. Would it be acceptable to just continue with the projects that were started there? Like, would those be eligible also for this competition, or do we need to do something that would start from scratch just for this?
No, if you have an existing project or something you've been working on, then you can enter the project or enter the competition. One criteria we do have is that you use one of our data sets. So I think we're releasing 37 different data sets. So to be eligible, you have to use one of them to incorporate it into your solution. But otherwise, I mean, we're not going to judge whether something has been, when somebody started something. Everybody's going to have the same start date, same access to the data and everything. So.
Yes, this question is more for Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew, both the great presentations, seems like a really great tool to be out of high school and anything like this. I'm not sure but this has been very useful to me and very little idea what I wanted to do out of high school. But Andrew, for you, present before where you talked about the laughing, this is a funny presentation. Your high school and some of your teachers, in particular your history teacher, who you said had a really big role on you, helping you to sort of what you wanted to do after high school. I guess my question is, if this tool existed, when you were in high school, how would this have changed you and sort of your pathways after high school?
People really want to know my personal story. They can talk to me after, but I'm happy to tell that. It's not the happy story you remember, but that way. But I'd imagine that all of us have been through high school, and some of us have taken sort of a careers course and whatever, and it's something that, doing user research with MAESD, a lot of students were just saying, even though information is out there, it's not presented in a way that is relevant and makes sense to them. So, and you know, just think back when you were a high school student, and like that's a good starting place to like think about how to solve this problem.
Andrew really was the inspiration for this, so yeah, we'll be getting to the bottom of that about this 6-week challenge.
It's a good story. I expect all that.
And for context, Arjun and I used to work together, so that's why he's embarrassing me right now. So,
any other questions? Not about Andrew? No. Any other questions not about Andrew's personal history? No. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the like? Do you anticipate, and are you doing outreach to like companies and like resubmitting their products to apply for this? And is that like, is there any like, is the scorecard? I don't know. Does the scorecard favor kind of grassroots efforts in any way, or is it? Yeah, I'm just curious how they handicap the grassroots.
Companies are not allowed to enter. I believe the scorecard does favor grassroots efforts. I mean, this is the community we want to engage here. This is who we've been doing most of the outreach to. We don't have any corporate sponsors. Haven't really been doing any outreach to corporations. So this is who we're looking to engage. So I think that's, yeah, hopefully.
It's just competition law, right? You can either target individuals or businesses, and we chose individuals.
And the other thing to build on top of that is that even though it seems like we want to solve the problem for as many high school students as possible, it's also totally appropriate to like pick like a subcategory. So if you wanted to focus on, say, like newcomer students or indigenous students or newcomer youth, and really build a tool that's really targeted that audience like that, I think that is also totally acceptable as well. And we would take into account like how like the scorecard would take that into account. So.
Any other final questions? Okay, thank you guys. Hopefully you all show up on Thursday, or at least register for the design challenge. We're really hoping that you participate.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone, if you can all do me a favor right now, go to www.studentschallenge.ca, and if you scroll down, there is, I think I pointed out, a newsletter you can sign up for. So if you can all do that, that would make me a very happy person, and I would be more willing to share whatever story that he was talking about with all of you, if that so interests you.
I think it's Student Pathways Challenge.
Yes, actually, yeah, you're right. It is just studentpathwayschallenge.ca, no www in front of it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You would have said Student
Challenge.
So, Student Pathways Challenge. So this website right here. Student Pathways Challenge. Perfect. So, thank you.
Thank you.